hectic.
Now, last month in Jan, it was announced that there has been an increase of 11% of death on the road over the festive season, and Eastern Cape being the highest province with 17.1%. Now, that's some very, very scary stats. Now, joining us today, I'm joined by the superior. We're joined by Chef Kenny on the show. Welcome to the show, Mr. Africa.
Well, thank you, and thank you so much for inviting us to be here today.
As I mentioned, scary stats.
Definitely. One of the main problems that we experienced over the festive season was the fact that so many pedestrians lost their lives on our roads. 104 pedestrians died during December and January. And the previous year, 14-15, 93 pedestrians lost their lives.
That's pedestrians alone.
Only pedestrians. I'm not talking about passengers and drivers. The situation on our roads over the festive season has been pedestrians was a major concern. You know, people getting...
Were they not in the safe area? Were they in the high accidental zone?
Well, in the high accidental zone, and also those who do not use their safety belts. You know, 48% of all our fatalities we are experiencing on our roads, firstly, is pedestrians, and 80% of fatalities is due to the fact that passengers and drivers just do not wear their safety belts. And we are urging our motorists to please make use of the safety belts. The driver of the vehicle is responsible for everybody under the age of 14 to wear their safety belts. If they do not wear the safety belts and the driver are stopped by our traffic officials, we will charge the driver for each and every occupant in that vehicle under the age of 14 who's not wearing their safety belts. Then another problem that we experienced over the festive season was fatigue. Fatigue in the sense that drivers are getting tired, falling asleep behind the steering wheel, and then land up in front of oncoming vehicles. And that's where we had so many head-on collisions, especially on the so-called road of death between Beaufort West, Laingsburg and Aberdeen, where people taking on these long distances from the Eastern Cape, from Joburg to Cape Town and vice versa. Now, we've got a golden rule in traffic. If you on our roads, stop after every 200 kilometers or 2 hours, making sure that you are well rested before taking on the next 200 kilometers or 2 hours. And then another problem that we are having on our roads is drinking and driving. People think they can drink and drive and got this idea that they won't be stopped. But in the Western Cape province, we've got a message to the public out there. If you drink and drive in our province, we will arrest you.
Yes.
The other problem that we also experienced over this festive season was excessively high speed. You know, speedsters doing 213 kilometers per hour in a 120 zone, 180 kilometers per hour in a 120 zone. And the law is very strict. If you do 40 kilometers more than 120, in other words, if you do 160 and more, the law says the driver must be arrested. And also the same applies to the 60 kilometer zone. If you do 30 kilometers more, in other words 90 plus, then our officers will also stop and arrest you. So there's absolutely no mercy. We cannot take this nonsense anymore, that people think they can do what they want on our roads. We from the traffic fraternity are saying children should be seen and not be heard. And we want to make our roads safe in the Western Cape province. And we need the assistance of the broader public out there, because road safety is not only the responsibility of the men and women in blue. It's the responsibility of each and every one of us.
That is so right. So how can we be able to help you girls? Is there a number we can contact your website to go to?
Yeah, we've got all our number in provincial traffic in the Western Cape, 021 946 1646. And motorists must feel free to contact us on that number to report bad behavior of motorists, to report accidents, anything that is newsworthy, they can report to us and we will deal with it.
All right, thank you so much. We've learned so much from you. We really appreciate you. Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure, and I would like to say, you know, in the past 42 years that I've been a traffic officer, I started my career when I was a young 18-year-old, and today I'm proud to be a traffic officer and still fighting this carnage on our roads.
Keep on doing so, we are inspired.
Hectic.